Please find your seats so we can start the program. Ladies and gentlemen, please find your way to your seats so we can start the program. Please come inside and find your seats. Plenty of room.
Okay, you guys say now. Ready? Should I start now? Start. Count me in. Okay, 1 second. All right. I will be in now. שנוי בין ממך יהיו כבייסו. This next song, To Live a Life of Torah, speaks volumes. It speaks about the wonderful Yeshiva, Toras Chayim. If you know this song, sing along. Since the beginning of our nation, in every single generation, our people slandered and accused and tortured just because they're Jews. Yet through the brutal pain and grief, steadfast, they cling to their belief. They held their heads a little higher as they perished in the fire. They cried out, Shema Yisrael, to live a life of Torah, to stand up righteous and strong, to voice unquestioning faith in everlasting song, to say Shema Yisrael, to serve Hashem without fear, to dream about the day when all the world will hear. Oh, to live a life of Torah, to stand up righteous and strong, to voice unquestioning faith in everlasting song, to say Shema Yisrael, to serve Hashem without fear, to dream about the day when all the world will hear. By our sorrow, we must look to a better tomorrow. And when the darkness turns to dawn, yes, another generation is born. The message is that Hashem is one. It's passed from fathers to their sons. Their children sing, their voices soar, emerging stronger than before. They cry out, Shema Yisrael, oh, to live a life of Torah, to stand up righteous and strong, to voice unquestioning faith in everlasting song, to say Shema Yisrael, to serve Hashem without fear, to dream about the day when all the world will hear, to live a life of Torah, to stand up righteous and strong, to voice unquestioning faith in everlasting song, to say Shema Yisrael, to live those words every day. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Unquestioning faith in everlasting song, to say Shema Yisrael, to live those words every day. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, Hashem Echad, Hashem Echad.
Tonight, we celebrate the theme of everlasting strength. The Yeshiva is a source of strength to To its students, to its alumni, and to the community.
When I was in 11th grade, my brother was in 7th grade. He was diagnosed, and about 11 months later, he was niftar. Yeshiva sent Bachram to my house to be Menachem Avel. All the Rebbeim came in, they sat with me, they listened to what I had to say. Even now, the Rebbeim are still always checking up on me. They're my support group.
Everlasting strength for the alumni.
When I was looking to transition from full-time yeshiva going to the workforce, I reached out to the yeshivas and I spoke to Rabbi Kagan and gave me a lot of strength and koiches to continue to stay within the walls of the yeshiva at the same time supporting my family.
Everlasting strength for the community.
They've done so much for me and so much for this community. When Rabbi Wasserman came to my house at the death of my mother to help me and stay with me while I was alone in grieving, I will never forget that for the rest of my life.
For over half a century, the yeshiva has been a bedrock of strength and support. This sense of mission defines us as we continue to provide everlasting strength.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's truly a pleasure to be together tonight for our Yeshiva celebration event. It's an evening where we celebrate community, dedication, and of course, one thing that everyone unanimously agrees on, that tonight's food is definitely better than what the Yeshiva boys are getting in the Yeshiva this week. We're grateful to see so many parents, alumni, friends, and supporters here, people who believe in the Yeshiva mission and play such an important role in helping our students grow, learn, and succeed. A Yeshiva dinner is never just a meal and a program. It's a moment of time when we remind ourselves why we're here, to reaffirm our commitment to nurturing the next generation of B'nai Torah, to support the dedicated mechanchim, the educators, who devote their lives to our students, and to stand together in shared responsibility for the future of Klal Yisrael. Tonight, we express our gratitude to those who embody the values of our yeshiva, those who give themselves with generosity, humility, and heart. And honestly, if we can bottle that combination and sell it, we would never need another fundraiser. We'll be inspired by stories of growth, perseverance, and the quiet but powerful impact that Torah learning has on every corner of our community. Most of all, we will celebrate the yeshiva itself, its unwavering vision, its legacy, and the countless lives that it continues to shape. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank specific individuals without whom this would not have happened, this would not have taken place. We have a dedicated staff and volunteers, people whose devotion, energy, and patience keep this yeshiva running smoothly. Your work is often behind the scenes, but your impact is front and center. Ms. Sue Hummert for running the entire office, and pretty much for everything. Mrs. Saragiti Nussbaum, Rabbi Chayim Abrams, Rabbi John Newman, Mrs. Miriam Aaron, Mrs. Linda Gershatter, Mrs. Amy Balaban, Mrs. Chana Klein. We thank the Eastside Kosher Deli, Shua Horowitz, and his staff for doing an incredible job of putting this dinner together. Acher and Chaviv, we save the best for last, are two individuals who have gone through a very difficult period of time right now with the loss of the Rebbetzin, Rabbi Yosef Shmuel Wasserman and Rabbi Aaron Yisrael Wasserman, who truly did not let up to make sure that this event is as beautiful as it is. So thank you very much. And finally, we are honored to welcome and recognize the police officers joining us tonight. That's it, let's go. Thank you for your service, your presence, and your ongoing support of our community. We truly appreciate you. We hope that you enjoy the evening, be inspired by what you hear, uplifted by the stories of our alumni and honorees, and maybe even a little entertained along the way. Thank you for being here, for caring, and for helping us continue to build something truly meaningful.
Tonight, it's very meaningful to be celebrating and to be honoring Jay Moskowitz, Daniel and Chevy Kasai, and their family.
From my yeshiva days all the way to now, the yeshiva still plays a role in my family's life, in my life. I established friendships, especially with Rosh Yeshiva, that I still maintain all these years later.
As a Talmud of the Yeshiva, Jay certainly valued his time here, and he became very close to Yitzchak Wasserman. His learning here in the Yeshiva was not just simply an academic mission, to create a bond, to have a chashivas for Torah.
Not only did my father receive his formative yeshiva education at YTC back in the 1970s, but my parents actually met at the home of the Rosh Yeshiva in Rebbetzin.
The relationship with my parents and the Rebbetzin and Rosh Yeshiva is very much woven into our family.
Yeshiva did a great job in impacting what my wife and I did in the future, raising our kids. It helped establish how my wife and I felt about Yiddishkeit. Yeshiva became part of our family.
As a young child, YTC was part of our lives. What I saw in our home is a reverence like no other for the Rosh Yeshiva.
The fact that we were able to have almost weekly interactions with Rabbi Wasserman as well as Rabbi Kagan. That relationship that we were able to have was because that has been fostered over the last 50 years.
My parents together were such a beautiful partnership of family first, but community not second. It is so painful to not have our mother here. And it is also so beautiful to see that my father hasn't lost his spark of generosity and love for others and a deep caring for the community.
It's amazing to see how the midos that pervaded the Moskowitz home has passed on to their children. I get to watch the Kasais on a regular basis, and their devotion to Torah, their devotion to Yiddishkeit is amazing to see.
Growing up, my parents and my grandfather always talked about the Rosh Yeshiva Shlita. I always had a tremendous reverence for them, knowing that my grandfather and my parents had a connection to that, and now they're passing it down to me, is something that's very, very overwhelming, but very chashuv at the same time.
Now that my father-in-law is able to witness that his oldest grandson is a Talmud in the yeshiva, this is ultimately the highest level of satisfaction and nachas that he has, that the next generation can pick up where he left off.
Today I drove by the yeshiva, my grandson was sitting outside in a shtender in a chair, leaning against the West Barren wall and learning by himself a Gemara. It's amazing.
I have a third generation connection with Yeshiva Toras Chayim, is to seal with my family and the yeshiva community, and really to make us all one unit.
I just want to wish the Kasais a huge mazel tov on this well-deserved honor. They should have the strength to be able to continue doing everything that they have done in the past and keep Joyce's legacy alive, and Jay should just have the strength to be able to continue doing all his chesed that he does.
The bracha for the yeshiva is that they continue educating the kids who are educating kids now. They should be successful and be here for many, many years to come as Denver continues growing.
Yes, Tzvi should be always like he was in his days in yeshiva. Very Yitzhak, very ne'eman, very loyal to yeshiva and to Bnei Torah.
I would just like to take this opportunity to wish a tremendous mazel tov to my grandfather Zaidi, to Mami and Tati on receiving this L'dar V'dar award. We should all have tremendous hatzlacha with being close with Yeshiva Toras Chayim, Mikan, Ulaba.
If I can ask Jay and the Kasai family to come up to accept their award. We present Jay with the grandparents' prayer, beautiful piece of art by Yona Weinrib, Midar L'Dar tribute presented to Jay Moskowitz, November 20, 2025. Present the Kasai family with the tefillah la'atzlacha for Torah. Should be a prayer. Should there continue that tzlacha and success in Torah? From Midar L'Dar, we should always see that down to your children, Sruli, and the younger ones should follow in your parents' way. Sruli, you should follow in your father's way in tremendous Talmud Chacham, in Torah, and see what they've shown for you, how your father has, I don't think everyone knows, Kanai Nahara has finished Shas multiple times, Baruch Hashem, and you should follow in that derech. And Mir Hashem bring nachas, and all the children should bring nachas to your parents and to your grandfather, Jay. Mazel tov.
Camera's over there.
Okay, 1 second. Just 1 second. One more.
1 second.
Where's the, we need the done. Who's that?
I wasn't so involved in Judaism. I was much more involved in bike racing.
He was a very athletic guy and he was training for a major bike race. He had a fall, broke his back. As a result of that, he was not able to go and do this race.
A friend of mine said, hey, the Jewish experience where our kids went to Sunday school is having a trip to Israel. Why don't you come with us? I never would have gone. Like, there would have been zero chance. But at the time, I would have done anything to get out of Colorado. So I went on the trip with Rabbi Liban, Rabbi Wasserman. They led it.
He came along, had the most amazing, transformative experience, and came back on a fire like you've never seen.
All of a sudden, it was like, oh, God is real. And
Adam and Barbara Moskowitz have grown tremendously and continue to grow, and they are adding tremendously to the Jewish community of Denver, to the yeshiva, to Jewish experience, to all the things surrounding that.
After going through their Jewish journey together and then, just continuing on that journey and never feeling satisfied with where they are, always questioning and learning and taking on more mitzvos, it's really inspiring.
They would come to our Shabbos table a lot and then give Divrei Torah and then talk about the Parsha, and they were just really excited. They matched each other's energy when it came to Torah and learning together.
Always looking to grow. They're never happy with status quo. What else can we do? What more can we do? What can we add on? What can we take on? Looking out for other people. And really, they are a couple that are beloved by literally the entire community. Special people, have big hearts, thinking of other people.
Barbara, she's always looking out for singles, looking to set people up. As soon as she'll meet someone who needs a shidduch, right away she's going to be thinking, who do I know for this person? Such a great person, always seeing the positive in people.
She's super warm and wants to help everybody. She just has a beautiful, beautiful soul.
Adam is one of those guys that if there's an opportunity in the community to do something Jewish, he's there. He's the first one, sign up with bells, smiling, and probably brought a friend too.
Whoever's going to carry the torch of Judaism, he's going to support. And the yeshiva fully checks all of the boxes, how they pursue, how they teach, and how they're teaching the next generation.
What goes on there is spectacular because, look, we just came from a trip to Israel. And in Sfat, there's one particular place, for example, that says it was the Yeshiva of Shemenever. And so what's going on in Yeshiva, these Bachrim steiging away, it's been part of our heritage since before the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. And they are keeping it alive.
When I saw him come into the yeshiva and how inspired he was when he saw these future budding Talmidei Chachamim, and he said, wow, this is great. I saw that Aaron really is a bacher at heart. And when he comes to a program and he's learning and you see him all into it, he realizes and recognizes and says that this is the future of our Jewish people.
Leadership is about stepping up to the plate and taking responsibility for others. Adam and Barbara take every opportunity where they see a need to step up.
Community Leadership Award is so appropriate because that's who they are. They are community leaders.
Being a supporter of Yeshiva Toras Chayim and all that they're doing to grow these young men and nurture the community is just really valuable and meaningful to me.
I'm incredibly appreciative to Rabbis Wasserman and Liban because they showed me that Torah observant life is not closing you off from the rest of the world, but rather it allows yourself to really come forth.
The Almighty should bless Adam and Barbara to build a happy home where they can continue to enthusiastically push all the great community organizations and programs that they love. I'd like to ask Barbara and Adam to come up and receive the Community Leadership Award. And this beautiful award says, for anyone who supports the community faithfully, God should faithfully pay their reward. Mazel tov. Thank you. Continue.
Denver Yeshiva, celebrating half a century of timeless legacy. Alumni carry that torch forward, years after they have left the hallowed walls.
My memories of Yeshiva Toras Chayim are very fond memories. The time we spent in Yeshiva together was a time, obviously, in learning, but at the same time, the Yeshiva gave us an atmosphere to grow, to have a geschmack.
The Rosh Yeshiva were very vibrant and very involved in the day-to-day of the yeshiva.
We loved the yeshiva so much, the boys all wanted to stay for sukkahs. We helped the Rebbes out with building their sukkahs.
Simchas Torah sticks out in my mind as really a young child. Just seeing their yeshiva dancing and the Rabbeim on that creaky floor on Quitman Street.
Everything surrounded you, day and night, 24 hours a day. You were in that environment, learning-wise, friend-wise. I established friendships, especially with Rosh Yeshiva, that I still maintain all these years later.
A yeshiva is really only as strong as its alumni, because ultimately the alumni are the ones who created the yeshiva and drove the yeshiva to the position that it's in today.
We now honor this evening and pay tribute to the class of 1975, a 50-year salute, and the class of 2000, 25-year salute. Everlasting strength, chazak ve'amatz.
The class of 2000 is a very special class to me. When I came here in 1998, they were in 11th grade, and they were my first class that really made me a Rebbe, that made me want to continue and be involved in the yeshiva.
Throughout the years, I bonded with everyone that was in the class, and the older boys that were in the Beis Medrash were very influential in our lives, and they were like big brothers.
There was an atmosphere there of just very real. You know, starting with Yeshiva, B'Shalom Meir and Yitzchak, and just everything about what we were doing there and what we were exposed to was genuine, real Yiddishkeit.
The personal touch Yeshiva always had. The Rosh Yeshiva always gave Bachrim their time and their love.
Today's Rosh Yeshiva are continuing the legacy of our Roshei HaYeshiva, that which they brought about in this yeshiva, a certain warmth that I think every Talmud felt towards the Rosh Yeshiva, that they care about us. They're not just here to give over a shir, to tell us a Svar learning.
We have our senior Rosh Yeshiva that are still there as a dugma for the Bachrim, and we have the next generation that are here and available for the Bachrim and being mashpia on the Bachrim. It creates such a level of she'ifus, of aspirations by the boys, of what they can be and what they can become.
Building on the foundations of a glorious heritage, the yeshiva continues to flourish and thrive.
It's always a special opportunity to visit the yeshiva, to see the Bachrim in action, learning, interacting with each other in such a beautiful way.
The Iker Tachlis of the yeshiva is to make a mensch. There's a tremendous focus on Musar and Hashkafa. The Olam leaving here is still the same product that Denver always produced.
When a Bacher comes into 9th grade, we're hoping that he grows both as a person and as a Ben Torah, and those things are very intertwined. As we take care of all his needs, both Beruchnius and Begashmius, he therefore has the setting in which he could grow into a Ben Torah, into a Chashuva member of Klal Yisrael.
The Rebbeim truly care about each Talmud. They're more than just a Rebbe. They're a parent figure, a role model figure.
To see my son growing in the same way that I did, taking his learning so seriously is something that he gets from his Rabbeim. It's the same geschmack, it's the same orangutan that I had when I was in the yeshiva.
I thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight at this auspicious occasion where we mark another anniversary of the yeshiva, and we're able to showcase the chizuk, the strength that the alumni have gotten from their years in the yeshiva and how they have paid that forward in their communities.
The yeshivas have really tried hard to keep a connection with those graduates, to feel that you are part of this amazing institution that have hundreds of graduates but thousands of great-great-grandkids who are now part of Torah community.
It's just year to year to year getting greater and greater, and continuing in its pursuit of excellence, continuing in its pursuit of learning and bringing Torah to Klal Yisrael and to the world.
Tonight is especially meaningful as we celebrate two incredible milestones in the yeshiva's history. We're honored to welcome members of the 50th graduating class. Yes, those originals, the pioneers, the ones who remember when the dorms had, let's call it, character. And joining them are representatives of the 25th graduating class who are still young enough to pretend they don't remember what they served in the dining room. Having both here is a meaningful, beautiful snapshot of our history. It's proof that no matter the decade, the yeshiva keeps producing thoughtful, committed, and slightly sleep-deprived B'nai Torah. It's my pleasure to ask those representing the 25th anniversary graduating class and 50th year graduating class to please join me on the stage.
Start here.
Boy, I remember you back when. How'd you get so big? Make sure they could see you. Okay. You saw that you also have to go in? We'd like to present each of you with a Zmiris book, the Karos al Shabbos. It's called Soul Stirring Songs. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Is there a light? Good evening, everyone. It is so nice to see all of you and to welcome each of you here tonight at the BMH-BJ Synagogue. It has been many years since the Yeshiva Toras Chayim has met in this building for their annual dinner. And for me, as most of you here tonight, it brings back so many cherished memories. especially those of Rebbetzin Riva Wasserman of blessed memory. How does one describe the sadness and sorrow that is felt when you lose a special friend or relative? There is no way. Riva's smile, her warmth, and her concern for everyone showed in every step of her way each and every day. Every bow on what was a special gift to many of us had to be just so. Every Shabbos table had to be set with perfection. Every Yontif gathering in her home was done with care and concern, from the cooking to the decoration, as well as the seating. She was always the perfect hostess. And the yeshiva dinner was no exception. She loved this event. Riva always made sure every detail was done to perfection, from the menu to the setting up of the room to the colors and, of course, the flowers. When all of this was done, dressed beautifully, she would stand by the sign-in table to meet and greet every guest. Her warmth and friendship overflowing to welcome and thank everyone. As a special tribute to Rebbetzin Riva Wasserman, you will find beautiful flowers lying on your table. When you are all seated at your table, please insert the flowers in the special glass vase that is in the center of the flower arrangement. Riva, we miss you, dear friend. In our hearts, we all know that you are with us tonight. May your memory always be for a blessing. Amen. And now, please turn your attention to the screen as we watch a special video in memory of Rebbetzin Riva Wasserman.
A few weeks ago, we lost a majestic figure in the community, the caring mother of the yeshiva, the caring mother of the community of Denver, Colorado, the Rebbetzin mommy, Rebbetzin Wasserman. There was a certain simplicity to her personality, but that simplicity was very elaborate. We all know that she came across very elegant and is with a purpose. And when she had an event, whether it was the yeshiva dinner, a luncheon, the Malava Malka, very elaborate, very impressive, and people were amazed at the tremendous effort that went into every detail of what she did. But behind that tremendous, elaborate facade, so to speak, there was simplicity of mission. When Ab and Mami, the Yeshiva, and the Rebbetzin left Lakewood, the Yeshiva Zatzar Reb Shner told them, go and create a Mokum Torah in Denver. Denver needs a yeshiva, and you can do it. With a lot of divine help, they're able to accomplish that with tremendous success. A very, very big amount of that success was an account of Mami, the Rebbetzin. The students in the yeshiva were her prime concern. And she would say, you're important. You're important to us because the yeshiva was important to them. And that's all she cared about. And her mission was to bring people closer to the yeshiva, closer to the understanding how important Torah is to every Jew, no matter where you are, where you come from, where you're heading. She brought that across with her elegance, with everything she did. To quote the famous sage in the Talmud, Rabbi Akiva, he said to his disciples, what we have is because of my wife, Shalom. What we have in the yeshiva, what we have in Denver, we have from such an Isha Chashuva, such a prominent woman, the Rebbetzin, is because she created that drive, that motivating factor, that theme that all should be directed towards the success of Torah in Denver. It's a legacy that we all carry forth, not just the family, but the yeshiva and the entire community. Hey, Zicha Baruch, she should have a light in heaven from the light of Torah, and she should have tremendous nachas from her place in Gan Eden.
Gifted a legacy to perpetuate Torah's majesty, and chosen for a ben Torah, destined to be his bride, always standing at his side to uphold Torah's pride. Nobility, charm, and grace, trademark smile lighting her face, shining care, warmth, and humility. Mother of the Mile High City, caring with such love and dignity, embracing scores of friends in every sphere to welcome them home. Mama Riva Ema Banim Semecha, raised your family b'nei Yeshiva to love Torah, Toras Hashem Temira, pioneering for the sake of Torah, going far from home. Through all the thick and thin, you were his Briach HaTichon. Fundraising trips, events and functions, endless devotion your call. Inspiring endlessly to give to all and give your all. Nobility, charm, and grace, trademark smile lighting her face, shining care, warmth, and humility. Mother of the Mile High City, caring with such love and dignity, embracing scores of friends in every sphere to welcome them home. Mama Riva Ema Banim Semecha, raised your family b'nei Yeshiva to love Torah, Toras Hashem, Oy Temira. Mother of the Mile High City, caring with such love and dignity, embracing scores of friends in every sphere to welcome them home. Mama Riva, Ema, Bar Semecha, raise your family and B'nai HaYeshiva to love Toyo, Toras Hashem, Hoitemimo. Crown with Nechmadus your pure neshama, Lifnei Chisich v'doi shirina, V'shavu banim hoi ligvulam, ligvulam. As you sit beside his heavenly throne, merited by Toras Chesed Son, together with Mama Rachel, cry for us, cry for us to come home. As we are about to enter, we just started the month of Kislev. This next song is something that I wanted to leave everybody here with. It's such a pleasure to be joined by the incredible Denver community for the incredible Yeshiva Toras Chayim, and to see all Yidden coming together, all different types of Yidden, how we managed to survive through it all. And this song is about how we are truly a miracle. Oh, 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 oh. A nation in the desert, we started out as slaves. Oh, oh. We made it to the motherland, and then came the crusades. Oh, oh, it's been so many years, crying so many tears. Don't you know, don't you really know? We are pushed to the ground, through our faith we are found standing strong. The Spanish Inquisition wanted us to bow. Oh, oh, but our backs ain't gonna bend, never then and never now. Oh, oh, it's been so many years, crying so many tears. Don't you know, don't you really know? We are pushed to the ground, through our faith we are found standing strong. We are a miracle. Embrace from up above. We are a miracle. One more time, sing with me, Denver. We are a miracle. We are a miracle. We were chosen with love and embrace from up above. Extermination was the plan when the devil was a man. Oh, oh, oh. But the few who carried on, the for millions who are gone. Oh, oh, it's been so many years, crying so many tears. Don't you know, don't you really know? We are pushed to the ground, through our faith we are found standing strong. We are a miracle. Yes, we are. We are a miracle. We were chosen with love and embraced from up above. We are a miracle. Every day we fight a battle on the the news, we are the stars. As history repeats itself and makes us who we are. Hate is all around us, but we'll be here to sing this song. All together! We are a miracle. We are a miracle. We are a miracle. Through it all we remain. Who can explain? We are a miracle. Through it all we remain. Who can explain? Denver, we are a miracle. A miracle. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. You can now all enjoy delicious dinner and buffet. And thank you all so much for joining us.
Momentarily.
The buffet is coming soon. Over the years, I've been blessed to bring many Jews of all backgrounds on trips to Israel. The first place I take them, of course, is to the Kosel. The second place I take them, of course, is to the greatest Mexican restaurant on planet Earth, Quesadillas Esencios. And the third place I take them, of course, is to a life-changing class with the unbelievably thoughtful and inspiring Rabbi Dov Ber Cohen of Yeshivas Esha Torah. After finishing university in England, Rabbi Dov Ber set off to find the truth. He spent the next 6 years living in Asia, where he participated in many silent meditation retreats, got a black belt in Taekwondo and a brown belt in Aikido. He volunteered in orphanages and hiked in the Himalayas. He then arrived in Israel when he discovered the depth, beauty, and truth of Yiddishkeit. After walking the whole length of Israel in 40 days to raise money for the orphanages, he committed to yeshiva and spent several years learning in yeshiva and getting smicha, whilst also running meaningful adventure trips for young professionals to Thailand, Peru, Nicaragua, and India. He is now a much sought-after motivational speaker and Jewish educator, a senior educator at Yeshivas Esha Torah in Jerusalem. He is both Floyd Money Mayweather's Rebbe, as well as Nas Daly's Rebbe, and he runs LIT Mindfulness, an online Jewish mindfulness course. It is my tremendous zechus to introduce the one and only Rabbi Dov Ber Cohen.
Thank you. I've been everywhere. I finally got to Denver. I made it. Baruch Hashem. So, it says in the Mesillas Yesharim, which is a foundational book of becoming a great human being, Yesod HaChasidut v'Shorish HaAvoda Tamimahu sheyitbareh v'yitamet etzel ha'adam ma chovato ba'alamo. And this means that the foundation of greatness, the foundation of everything we're doing in this world, is to clarify and verify what our goal is. What are we trying to achieve? What are we living for? Many people wake up in the morning and then they get through life, but they're not living with immense passion and clarity of goal. And therefore we lose some vitality. So I got to Yeshivat Esha Torah, and my first Rebbe was Rav Noach Weinberg. And he used to drill into us all the time that you have to know what you're living for. You need to know, what would you die for? What would you give your life for? We've seen many, many boys gave their life in Gaza in the last 2 years and since 1948 because they were fighting for something they believed in. And he said, if people are willing to give their life for the Jewish people, then we need to be willing to live our life for the Jewish people. If people are going to be dying a meaningful death, then we have to live a meaningful life. And he kept drilling it into us. What is your goal? What are you doing? So what he didn't know was I'd been living with these two words 10 years before I'd even heard of the Mesilas Yesharim in England. Grew up in England in a traditional Jewish home, and I went to university, and I started learning philosophy, and I saw that there were many different paths. There was Buddhism and Christianity and Hinduism and atheism, and I started asking people a very important question, which was, what are you living for? How are you? And most people gave answers, for example, I'm not too bad, I'm getting by, I'll just see where life takes me. And I realized that there are very few people with Yitbareh v'Yitamet who have clarified, what am I doing? What am I trying to achieve? Where am I trying to go? So my grandfather, he died when he was 100 years old. And before he died, he said to me, you don't want to live an I should have life. So I said to him, what do you mean? And he said, well, when you get to 90, 95 years old, you don't have so much to look forward to. So you start looking back on your life and you start saying to yourself, I really should have. I should have spent more time with my kids and less time at work. I should have worked out what the purpose of life is. What's the key to happiness? I should have told my wife more often how much I love her. I should have been to the gym so I could be healthier. I should have seen the world. So he said to me that you can live your life from this age, that when you get to 90, you're not regretting your life. You're looking back on your life and you're thinking to yourself, Yisbareh v'Yitamed, I clarified, what's life all about? What am I meant to achieve? Because if we want to live a successful life, we have to understand, well, what's the purpose? What is it that I'm meant to have achieved by the time I was 90 years old? So that really stuck with me, and I decided I'm going to go and find life. What is this? And I watched lots of martial arts films. Bruce Lee was my real first Rebbe. And I decided that all truth lies in the East. So I ended up spending 6 years in Asia. And I speak Thai and Japanese and Hindi and Korean. But I just spent lots of time in meditation retreats and working in orphanages and teaching Buddha. I actually was teaching Buddhism to Buddhist monks. I was always into Kiruv. But I was makariving the Buddhists. And one of the main teachings was really the opposite of the life that I was growing up with. I grew up with a life where your sense of self is completely dependent on three things: what you have, what you do, and what you look like. What you have, what you do, and what you look like. So I realized that people chasing external recognition, they aren't the happiest people in the world. They don't have the best relationships in the world. So I decided that surely we should get our sense of self and our sense of purpose not based on what we have and what we do and what we look like, but based on who we are as a person. So I started meditating, because Jewish wisdom also teaches that your whole experience of life completely depends on your mind, on your thoughts. If your thoughts are healthy and clear, then you'll have a positive attitude. And if you have a positive attitude, you're going to be living a good life. Whereas if you don't have a positive attitude, you could have the best house and the best job and the best car and the best family, but if you have jealousy or anxiety or hatred, then you're not going to enjoy that. So the Eastern paths, opposite to England, where I grew up, said we actually have to detach, get away from the physical worlds. They don't have any money, and they don't eat after 11 o'clock in the morning, and they don't get married, and they just say we have to separate from the physical world in order to be spiritual. So these meditation retreats, at first, the mind gets very over-excited. It doesn't know what to do with itself. But after a while, once the mind starts calming itself down, we really overcome. Pirkei Avot says that kina, taiva, and kavod moitziin et ha'adam min ha'olam, that jealousy and physical craving and honor-seeking and ego takes us away from spirituality. So the Buddhist monks, they really overcame that. There's actually a famous story that there was a monk, and he went to sit in a cave for 15 years to overcome his ego. And people came and gave him a bit of food. After 15 years, they invited him to come and teach. And at first, he said he wasn't going to come, and they persuaded him. So he came into the village, and he was walking up onto the little platform where he was going to teach, and someone pushed him. So he looked at them and he said, "Do you know who I am? I'm the monk who overcame his ego." And then he realized, I haven't overcome my ego, and he went back to the cave for another 15 years. So I decided I'm going to go and sit in the cave. So I went in northern India, a place called Bodh Gaya, and I said, I'm going to sit in this cave and I'm going to meditate until I overcome my ego. And after a while, I realized it's quite egotistical to do that, because there are lots of orphans and there's lots of people who need my help. So I went back down into the orphanage and I said, I want to make an impact. I want to do something in the world. And at night, I'd go back to the cave. And one night, I was sitting in the cave and I just started hitboninut, contemplating. And I was thinking, there must be a creator of the universe. So what does the creator want? I started doing Yispareh v'yetamet. What is it? What does God want from us? And I decided it can't possibly be that God created this amazing, beautiful universe for us to separate and detach from the universe. It just can't be. There's got to be something I'm meant to do here. So after 6 years living in Asia, I decided I was going to canoe down the Amazon. But I stopped in Israel for 3 weeks, 18 years ago. And I started asking some questions. Someone said to me, "Why don't you study Judaism?" And I said, "Because it's not spiritual. I'm very spiritual. And you think that there's an angry man in the sky and I have to do these things, otherwise he'll punish me." And they said, "No, come and start learning." And I started learning Torah. And suddenly I found the key to everything. Everything I would say that I learned in the East, someone would say, "Yeah, it says it over here. It says it in Mesilas Yesharim. It says it in Even Shleima by the Vilna Gaon." Everything I was saying, they said, "Yes, we've got this. Thousands of years ago, we have all of these teachings," or they would show me how it's not true. And they started teaching me that really the Torah is the guidebook for the middle path. In the Western secular world, it was all about physicality and materiality, and in the Eastern world, it was all about complete separation. Get out of the world. So Judaism says, no, there's a way to be in the world, but in such a conscious way that we're uplifting the world. So it's very easy to overcome your ego when you're sitting in a cave and there's no one there to annoy you. But 20 minutes before candle lighting on Friday, and you've got 10 guests coming, and the kids are not dressed, and you drop the chicken soup. And at that moment, can you overcome your ego in the world? And I was shown that the Torah is actually a mindfulness book. It's a book how to live this life. Even we put on our shoes, we put on our right shoe first and then our left shoe. It's not because God's going to get angry if we put on our left shoe first. It's because I want to be conscious and intentional. So when I put on my right shoe first, I think of chesed, because right represents chesed, because I want to walk through the world with chesed. When I eat mindfully and I say a blessing before and after I eat. When I get money, I give away 10, 20% of my money to the yeshiva, by the way. Thank you. But I'm using the physical world to be conscious. And all sorts of Torah learning. There's learning Chumash with Rashi, what are the messages that God's trying to give us. There's learning the Gemara, which for me was the opposite of meditation. Meditation is about completely clearing your mind. Gemara is about completely training your mind, refining your mind, becoming the clearest thinker you can possibly become. And then we have Musa, which is training our character traits. And then the mystical traditions teaching us about the spirituality. So every part of Torah learning is developing you into a completely refined and spiritually connected human being. And I just couldn't stop learning at that point. I was like, give me more. This is what I've been looking for. So I was yitbareh. I did the first bit, which was I clarified for myself what Judaism is all about. I thought it was one thing, I wasn't so connected to it, but then I realized this is the ultimate path to consciousness. But then I had to do the second part, was yitamet. Yitamet means to, how do you know it's true? Because Buddhism thinks it's true, and Christianity everyone thinks what they believe is true. And I asked my Buddhist masters, and I said to them, how do you know that what you believe is true? And so they'd say, well, Buddha said so. So I said, how do you know he got it right? So they'd say, well, we feel it in our meditation. And I say, yeah, but they feel different things in their meditation. And I asked Buddhists and Hindus, and I lived on a small island off the coast of Korea. There was lots of Christian missionaries there. And I asked them, how do you know what you believe is true? And no one gave me any good answers until I got to Israel. And I said, how do you know what you believe is true? Because I think it's beautiful. The Torah is so deep and beautiful and gives you everything you want, but how do we know it's true? So they actually said, go to Aish. Go to Aish Torah in the old city, and they have a course called the Discovery Program, which gives rational evidence and empirical and scientific evidence that there's no way a human being wrote the Torah. So I went down there, and I was a philosophy major. I was already 29 years old. And I said, right, I'm going to go and disprove the evidence, and then I'll go to canoe down the Amazon. This was 18 years ago. And I went and I started learning the evidence, and I yitamet. I did the second half, which was I understood, hold on, this is the truth. So I sent all the evidence out to my atheist friends. Because I was in university, I had atheist friends, I put it on atheist forums, and I said, you need to help me disprove this evidence, because I got to keep traveling. And that's when I decided to walk the whole length of Israel. There's a trail called the Israel National Trail. From the Lebanese border to Eilat, it's 700 miles. So I walked it in 40 days. I thought to myself, I'm going to do a tikkun for the Meraglim. The Torah teaches that the spies walked the land of Israel for 40 days, and then they gave a bad report. So I said, I'm going to fix that. And I'm going to walk the land for 40 days, and I'm going to give a good report, which I did. Baruch Hashem, and raised $18,000 for charities. And at the end of the 40 days, no one had refuted the evidence. Some newspaper. So no one had refuted the evidence. So I realized I have now yitbareh v'yitamet. I've actually finished my quest of clarifying what am I living for? Why am I getting out of bed? Many people are juggling their lives. They have their health and their relationship and their job and their learning and their growth. But when you're juggling your life, you lose vitality. The Torah takes the whole of life and brings it all together. How am I living my relationships with a Torah mind? How do I treat my wife and my children with a Torah mind? How do I grow? How do I eat with the Torah mind? How do I do everything? How am I showing up in the world on a very, very high level of consciousness? So someone came up to me a few years ago and he said, I read your book, and it's amazing, you're such a truth seeker. So I said to him, no, I'm not. I found the truth. I'm not seeking the truth anymore. I found the truth, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to live the truth in a deeper and deeper way. Because the word yitamet doesn't mean just to verify that your path is the correct one, which is very, very powerful that you can verify it. But yitamet also means that you've integrated it. You're actually living with it on a day-to-day basis. We say, V'yadata hayam v'hashavaisa alavavacha. You should know today, but then you should place it in your heart. We've got to start integrating the Torah into our heart. David HaMelech says, Tamu ra'u ki tov Hashem. We should taste and see how good Hashem is. And we all know that taste is an experience. You can't describe a taste. You can't tell someone what strawberries taste like. You can talk about strawberries all day, and you can know the gematria of strawberry, and you can be the world expert on strawberries, but if you don't bite into a strawberry, then you'll never know what it tastes like. So the Torah is a guidebook. If you go into a restaurant and you look at the menu for half an hour, but you never order the food, then you wasted your time. The Torah is a menu, it's a guidebook, but it's taking us towards a real experience of living with Hashem on a day-to-day basis. V'yadata hayam v'hashavata al-levavacha. Teaches Rahman al-Libaboy, Hashem wants our heart. So whereas Buddhism is all about detachment, Judaism is all about devekas. It's all about real relationship, having a relationship with yourself in a healthy way. We should love our fellow as ourselves. means we have to love ourselves first, to just have a healthy sense of self, and to love other people, and to love Hashem, and to be turning up in the world in a conscious and joyful way. And I came to the yeshiva today. Yeshiva's Toras Chayim is the best name for a yeshiva. My son actually goes to a school in Jerusalem called Talmud Torah Toras Chayim, because this is what it has to be. The Torah has to be the guidebook for life. We've got to be living Torah, breathing Torah. And I went and spoke to the boys today, and they were so interested, and they were asking questions. As one of the videos said, it's not just about learning Torah, although learning Torah is the foundation of everything. It's about living Torah. It's about seeing the world through the eyes of Torah, seeing it as the ultimate guidebook to bringing consciousness and godliness and kindness into the world. So I just want to give you all a bracha. It's an amazing kahila, chashuva rebbeim, an amazing yeshiva, that you should continue this amazing work. The yeshiva is giving chiyas, is giving life to the whole community. And from all walks, I'm looking out here, can't see so much, but I'm looking out here, and there are people from all walks of life, all types of Jews, all backgrounds, who are gathered around. And we see that the Jewish people, we were outside the land of Israel for 2,000 years, and we survived without being in our land. But we would never have survived without the Torah. The Torah is the thing that kept us alive. They were learning Torah in the camps, they were learning Torah wherever they are. So I just give you all a bracha that you should learn Torah and live Torah and spread it to yourselves and your family and your children and to the whole community. Hazrat Hashem.
Thank you, Rav Dov Ber. Those of you who want more inspiration throughout Shabbos, Rav Dov Ber will actually be here Shabbos day in BMH, but there'll be other programs sponsored by the Jewish Experience. Check it out, and we look forward to hearing more. As was mentioned, I don't want to get in the way of you and the food, but I do want to give one thank you to Rabbi Aaron Baruch, mentioned earlier about the staff. I want to give an incredible, incredible thank you to the staff, who, although we were not able to forge forward, but the staff picked up the pieces and said we're moving forward, and they get an incredible round of applause for doing an amazing job. After you enjoy a beautiful buffet dinner, you'll see every station has different food, so enjoy it all. On your way out this evening, there's a beautiful book that's sponsored by Avi and Gitti Bulow and by the Moskowitz and Kasai family in memory of the Rebbetzin. Chesed Under Fire, a beautiful, inspiring book. You should all get one on your way out this evening. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.